Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai. In the 21st century, democracy dominates military rules and leadership across the world. The United Nations organization adopted the Greek opinion of power as something the people have, should have, and ought to have. These people include majority and minorities as well. This power of the people is the beauty of democracy. However, in most developing countries, democracy hasn't been explicitly understood to be the power of all the people, including minorities in states. But absolutely, an opium or idea of majority takes it all, and this has created some disharmony, acrimony, segregation, unilateralism, and ethnocentrism within the nations. However, people make law, and laws in turns could build the people to positive direction for tranquility, equity, and developmental governance. It is in this light that Benue State, a north-central state of Nigeria, comes into focus as one of the states where the majority ethnic group is yet to share power with their minority brother of Idoma in the state that sits on a tripod of zones A, B, and C, where zone A and B share the governorship seat across each 7 local government areas each, making totaling 14, while zone C, with the 9 local government, is yet to produce the governor of the state. And this is the point of discussion today on Spectacle. So welcome, I am Daniel Atai. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, I will introduce to you our guest analysts who are already seated in the studio. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Like I said, this is still Spectacle, and this is a sponsored program by the Benue South for Governor Group. And I have Mr. Ade Ame in the studio. Mr. Ade Ame is the Deputy National Coordinator, Benue South for Governor Group. Mr. Ade, you're welcome.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. He is also a strategist and a renowned administrator. Second, by my immediate right, is Mr. Peggy Shande. Mr. Peggy Shande is an orator and a public affairs journalist. Mr. Peggy Shande, you're welcome to Spectacle.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. It promises to be an audience participatory one, and the numbers displayed on your screen, you could use it to reach us on this program to contribute your opinion from wherever you are watching us from. We are talking about how power should rotate, the rotational power of the governorship seat in Benue come 2023. And Ade Ame happens to be in the studio with me at the same time. Peggy Shande, who is also from Benue, from the Tiv majority axis, and perhaps in solidarity with his Benue South brothers. Peggy, you are welcome again. It's okay. Mr. Ade, I will start with you. And before we give the preamble of the what this is all about, you want the Tiv majority tribe of Benue State to cede power to Zone C, their brother. How possible do you think that should be? come 2023?
Well, as it is often said, politics does not always have to be just a game of numbers.
Okay.
But it should also be a game of equity. We are at the point now in our existence where there's been a lot of spotlight on systemic marginalization, discrimination, globally. So it only makes sense at this point that our thief brothers look inwards and ask themselves, we've been doing the same things for 44 odd years. Is it not time to cede governance to our brothers in Zone C? All we ask, all we demand at this point is an equal share in governance, in the hopes that we would provide what democracy has promised our people, such that in good time our brothers will realize that we hope to do as well as them.
All right.
And just be, equal partners in the state.
In progress.
Yes.
All right. Like I said before, we also go into the preamble introduction, the background report I had. Mr. Peggy Shandi, you are from Benue State too, and will you think that the thief majority of your people will likely support the Benue South governorship candidate come 2023?
Thank you very much, Mr. Dan. I am happy to be here because this is a very topical issue, in the times that we're in. It's important to appreciate our coordinator who is here also. I first of all want to say that me as a person, one of the things I hate so much is injustice. I hate injustice. I don't know how to pretend about it. Now, I'm not saying injustice is happening with regards to the situation in Benue, particularly. But I'm just going to make a few remarks, in the areas. It is an endowment from God that, population is very important in playing a key role in politics. We, the Tea people, are very blessed in that regard. It's unfortunate that the Tea really had to marry so many wives, and he had to sleep with them enough to get a lot of them children to be able to have the population that we are talking about. But in population, is just population the only factor to determine who becomes a quality governor? And this is a problem. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether you are from the most populous part of Benue. It doesn't matter whether you are not from that most populous part of Benue. But as long as it is a game of numbers, and answering your question, that should it not go down to our brothers in Zone C, which is the Benue South,
yeah.
Of course, there's nothing that is practically impossible that can happen on the earth. So it would be nice if the strategies are put in place, considering that we are actually more populated. It is a gift of God. And then you need the population to be able to see the power. Therefore, putting the right things in place, such as quality dialogue, discussions, and understanding. Yeah. We should be able to come to terms with also giving this trial to our brothers in Zone C, so that they can. And who knows if the Messiah that we have been looking for to develop Benue will come from the Zone C. I think that's very important to also note. Absolutely. It's not about numbers.
Absolutely.
It's not about majority. Anyway, with that point, we will take a short break with this background preamble. about the brief history of Benue State and the governors we've had so far in that state. Please enjoy it.
As an administrative unit, Benue State was first created on 3rd February 1976. It was one of the 7 states created by the military administration headed by General Murtala Mohammed, which increased the number of states in the country from 13 to 19. Benue was created on the 3rd of February 1976, but the new Benue State of today has 23 local government areas, which are administered by local government councils. Benue boundaries were adjusted with the creation of Kogi State in 1991. Benue State is blessed with abundant mineral resources. These resources are distributed in the local government areas of the state. Of these mineral resources, Benue also have some natural resources, as it is called the nation's acclaimed food basket of Nigeria because of its rich agricultural production. Agriculture is the mainstay of the economy, engaging over 75% of the state farming population. The state also boasts of one of the longest stretches of river systems in the country, with great potential for a viable fishing industry. With all these mineral and natural resources, Benue could become a strong economic force in Nigeria, if not for lack of first-level industries for production. That many analysts said it could only be blamed on lack of political will for governance due to unilateralism and ethnocentrism. Below are past governors that have ruled the state since its creation, and none had emerged from the Benue South Zone. Hence, the call from the Benue Rebirth Movement, a progeny of many agitating groups for a Benue State governor from the Zone C extraction of the state, which is the Idoma/Igede speaking area. From 3rd February 1976, when Benue Plateau State was divided into Benue and Plateau State respectively, we had Abdullahi Shelleng as military governor, who took office from March 1976 to July 1978, followed by Adebayo Lawal, again another military governor, who took office from July 1978 to October 1979. There came Democratic elected governor in the person of Ape Ako, who took office from October 1979 to December 1983 under the MPN. And there came John Akpera after them. He took office as governor from January 1984 to August 1985 during the another military regime. Jonah David Jang became another military governor from August 1985 to August 1986. And Johanna Madaki took over as military governor again from August 1986 to September 1986. Ishaya Bakut, another military governor from September 1986 to 1987. Idris Garba, military governor 1987 to 1987. Fidelis Maka, military governor from December 1987 to January 1992. Then we had a democratically elected governor in the person of Moses Adasu, who took over from January 1992 to November 1993 under the SDP. Then there came another military governor, Joshua O. Obademi, from 9th December 1993 to 22nd August 1996. He handed over to Aminu Isa Kotongora, another military governor, from 22nd of August 1996 to August 1998. Then there came Dominic Onea, another military administrator, from August 1998 to May 1999. Then we had another dispensation of democratically elected government, where another governor emerged in the person of George Akume, who took office from May 29, 1999 to May 29, 2007 under the People's Democratic Party. He handed over to Gabriel Suswan, who took over as governor 29th May 2007 to 29th May 2015, still under the PDP. And there came the incumbent governor, Samuel Otom, from 29th May 2015 to date. And he would be completing his second tenure by May 29, 2023. From the above years of leadership in Benue State, the military ruled a total of 18 years, while democratically elected government by the end of the administration of Governor Samuel Otom would have led the state for a total of 29 years, with the latest from 1999 to date, a 21-year straight uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria. It would be 24 straight years by 2023, and no Benue South person, that is the Idoma extraction, has ever been governor of the state. Hence, this agitation was born out of collective pressure groups and structures now known as Benue Rebirth Movement, in order for tranquility and egalitarianism to prevail in Benue State.
Welcome back. And that was a background reportage about how Benue State have existed in the past 44 years. And by 2023, it would be 47 years. Hence, this agitation is coming up from various groups that have harmonized themselves under an aegis of Benue Rebirth Movement. But yours is Benue South for Governor. 2023.
Yeah.
One of the progeny of Benue Rebirth.
Yes.
All right, good. You have heard the reportage, and Mr. Peggy too, who is here with us in the studio, have heard it. And what actually could broker this unity if by 2023 the TIV majority, or let me say, could you say that if the TIV relinquish power to their Idoma brothers come 2023, you, Peggy, could that broker more harmonious relationship? Could that bring more governance? Could that bring a tranquilized society of Benue, like more than what we have today, in your own opinion?
Well done, thank you very much. That's a very, very sensitive question, and thank you very much for that. Benue is a state, just like every other state. And Benue is not just a state with animals. It is a state that consists of different tribes, those tribes that are minority, and those tribes that are very majority. We have the TIV, we have the Idoma, we have the Igede, we have the Etulo.
We even have the Igbos there.
And no, Igbos are not indigenous. They're just maybe. But I'm talking about those
indigenous Igbos in other local.
Just like we have indigenous Fulani too.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about those who actually are domiciled, within the state, which is the Etulos, the Kabawas, the Jukums, and the rest of them. We also have Nifong. Now, if all these people are part of the state,
categorized under under a tripod.
Under a tripod, let's say, the TIV, the Idoma, and Igede are the major tribes. Then the other minority tribes are also there. So the point I'm trying to make is that there is an advantage when you are from the minority tribe.
Okay.
Because the House of Assembly is designed in a democratic system, in the kind of system of government that we practice, you know, even at the state level, where representations come from different locations, you know, to represent these people, and the House of Assembly is the people's house. That's where legislation takes place. And that's where impeachment too takes place.
Exactly.
And I'm saying, for Benue to develop, let's be very, very honest. Let's be very, very honest. If you give an opportunity to the minority tribe against the majority tribe, even the House of Assembly will not allow that the minority tribe should just do whatever they want.
Exactly.
You don't know that the advantage
Yeah.
of the population of the tribe that is more populated
In the national,
in the state assembly,
in the state assembly.
for whatever decision that must be taken,
Yes,
it is going to favor the majority tribe.
that is true.
And so the majority representation could have been so used to being so populated, and the syndrome of I am in charge, nothing happens. But the minority tribe,
You cannot win an election without a minority.
no, that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
I'm talking about where development will happen.
Exactly.
So the minority tribe will come on board, and then we'll make sure that he is not impeached,
Exactly.
and then we'll begin to think about how to do something else differently.
Exactly.
And that's where development will come. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you answered. That means for development,
Yes.
minority rules better or leads better. And for several factors.
Several factors,
Yeah.
yes.
Now, why do you think that Benue South should be considered for governor while there are minorities in the state?
Well, besides the obvious, we've gone 44 years and we have been sidelined the entire time. We haven't had the opportunity to showcase what our zone can do with respect to governance, with respect to the development of our state. So we are of the firm belief that come 2023, we will be in a position to show the people of Benue State what we have missed in 44 years. And we're almost certain...
2023 to be 47 years.
47 years,
Yes.
absolutely. And we're almost certain that we will have the cooperation of our chief brothers in zones A and zone B. So at this point, we're agitating for this governorship come 2023 for zone C. To be honest, as I said, this is long overdue.
Have you considered
And-
the factors, the minorities factors like lower in vote registry, not more than 9 local governments you have, they have 14 local government, and if they are to use their numeric strength, have you considered that factor? So what will you leverage on?
Okay, so here's the thing. Benue State has 3 zones.
Yes,
Zone A, B, and C.
yes.
Of the 3 zones, there are, I believe, 23 local governments.
Yes.
Of the 23 local governments, Zone C has 9, I believe. And the remaining 14 local governments are shared between
Zone
Zone
A and B.
So on the average, we'd put that at 7 local governments
Each.
which incredibly means that Zone C has more local governments than Zone A or Zone B.
That is a fact.
Yes. We also have to think about the fact that poor governance does not care what zone you come from.
Exactly. Like Mr. Peggy Shandy said.
Absolutely.
Yes.
By the way, I have to commend you for your bravery. This isn't an easy thing to come here and do. At the end of the day, we are really equipped, we're capable, and we believe that The political elite are the ones in zones A and B who have created these imaginary divisions between zones A, B, and their C brothers.
They have to revert.
Absolutely.
You negotiate with them.
Yes.
And for power broking policy.
Yes.
Okay, so that.
And this also means that we will be reaching out at grassroots level to our thief brothers in zones A and B and hope to get across to them so they see that whatever divisions are being perpetuated by their political elite does not necessarily translate to development or sustainable development within their areas. So hopefully through dialoguing, we're almost sure that we'll get our desired goals come 2023, and that will be governorship for Zone C.
Thank you very much. The governorship for Benue from Zone C extraction.
Extraction, yes.
All right. Mr. Pegishan,
yes, please.
Like you said, Benue State comprises of 3 political zones, A, B, and C, with Zone A and B rotating power between them since since the birth of the Fourth Republic. That is 21 years ago. Leaving out their brothers, their brother Zone C, which is the Idoma-Igede extraction. Could you blame it on this, what we call the tribe of the elite and the tribe of the masses?
What is the tribe of the elite and what is the tribe of the masses?
The tribe of the elite, as in, it has become an elitist affair.
The team of the elites and then the...
No, the tribe of the elite are like, they can even...
The ruling class?
The ruling class, they can even consult with Zone C elite too, discuss power sharing formula, and then compromise a little here, because you can't do this. So that is why, and then let the masses support you. Take this gift to the masses of your people, and we take control of the power here. Take this. So is it a factor in this tripod that has not been a kind of inequitous?
I think that is absolutely nonsense.
Okay.
It's a nonsense because that's why I asked you, so what kind of the masses and the elite is, what is that? It's absolute nonsense. It's complete nonsense. There's no need to talk about when you are talking about an entity. Nobody in Benue State participated at the central government when the creation of states were happening.
Okay.
It was the wisdom of moving away from regional government to the creation of states. It started with 12 states, and then it has moved down to the number of states we have.
Yeah, to 19.
Including into 19 and to the numbers that you have. Including even the local governments that was created even eventually. The numbers were low. And don't forget, I'm not speaking here as an oracle of the tea people.
Yes.
But I am a tea man. And I'm very confident that at least I have been around for some time to be able to be informed. Therefore, I will say what I know. And I think Zone A, Zone B, Zone C, the administrative strategies for administrative conveniences for the white man, the pre-colonial masters and the masters who came, and then they just zoned us like that. Meanwhile, Zone A has produced 3 governors. And then they just zoned us. The Zone B has produced 2 governors. Statistically, going by the numbers, even to give the opportunity to Zone C to even try once, it has never happened. The law of natural justice would take its course. So what should be done is, you can sustain a very elaborate communication system to be able to sustain, dialogue. I know the tea people. One thing about them, moving away from population and sentiment. Even if an Idoma man comes for governor, this is not the first time that the Idomas are actually coming for governor.
Yeah.
They have come before. But the issue of sentiment, that my brother in the tea is contesting. So my brother in this, I beg, sentiments now kills whatever ambition.
And that is why I said the elite versus the masses.
Of course.
These are the 2 tribes, instead of saying the tribe of the Idoma or the tribe of the thief.
Yeah.
We have to put that aside and check the factor, the elitism factor, because it could be that the elite, even from the Idomas, are enjoying this, marginalization in a way. And then it could be that the elite of the thief political class are using, their majority power, the power of their masses within the 14 local government to usurp, what should come to them.
No, I want to say something.
Yes.
In answer to that.
Okay.
The elitist ideology may actually exist.
Okay.
But do you know why I said it was a nonsense?
Okay.
It's not something exactly that should be used as a strong point.
Okay.
Let me tell you something about the tea philosophy.
Okay.
The Kwararafa kingdom did not capture the tea people.
Okay.
We only migrated from wherever we migrated from.
Yes.
From Congo Brazzaville or Congo, from the tribes of from the Zulu,
Yes.
or the Bantu. Moving away from the Bantu, we migrated on the hills of the Cameroons, and then we now got in to the valley.
Yes, exactly.
We met the Idoma people, they call them the Doma people,
Yes.
together with other little tribes, Jukum and the rest of them, that made up the Kwararafa kingdom.
Yes.
So when they say brother, the thief man does not see Idoma as brother.
Yeah.
The thief man came and fought the Kwararafa kingdom, and that's not elitist now.
Okay.
It is just about conquer. It's about conquering. It's the conquest. A thief man sees anything that he's fighting against as an enemy, not as a brother. So it's good to take that very clear. So what I said in the first place, that it is possible. Okay, now we have come.
And we have
dwelt together.
Yes.
Under an administrative, geographic entity called a state.
Yes.
You mentioned something here about marginalism. That word marginalism is one of the demons that fights development anywhere.
Exactly.
And recall,
Exactly.
when Apereko was governor,
Yes.
it was not just the governor of Idoma and Tiv
Exactly.
and this other one.
Yes.
It was also Igala.
Yes. Yes.
When he was building ranches around the whole state, he also built ranches in Igala land.
Yes.
And he made sure that everybody participated. Yet the Igalas were shouting, they are marginalizing us. They are marginalizing us here.
Even the Igalas then.
Igala had to pull out. They moved and they went and they formed their Kohi. The same marginalization that the T people are sort of said to be having against Idoma, the Idoma people too are having it against Igede.
Of course.
Now, let me tell you something that is going to help you to understand that this movement and this agitation is a step towards the right direction.
Exactly.
The team nomenclature of naming places, particularly what has just happened in the last elections in Oshongo local government. Mba, Mbaye, Mbayem. They start the clans and district with MBA. Mba is a prefix for the people of. Now, when you go by the nomenclature, you discover that the man who has just won elections as an elective chairman of the Oshungo local government area of Benue State is from Utange. Utange is not the nomenclature of a team naming of districts and clans, where there are a few exceptions. But a major, you say Mbako, Mba, Yon, Mba. That means that Utange is not exactly indigenous. They are meant to be seen as people who migrated from somewhere as alien people. Yet,
they become settlers.
They became settlers. So going away from even looking at the Idomas as not brothers, what would we say that an Utange man, first in history, has won a local government chairman in the entire history of the creation of the
That is
state.
under Governor Tom.
That is under Governor Tom.
Governor Tom has actually shown some capacity in leadership in terms of all-inclusive governance, if you ask me. Though he has his faults, he has his flaws, but then it was under him that the first Idoma man emerged as Chief Justice of the state. I could remember. You remember Justice Adams Onu?
Yeah, Adams.
So
Adams.
the first Idoma Chief Justice of the state.
Yeah.
And like we talked about marginalization, like you said, the Idomas too have their own with their brother, the Igedes. We will take a short break, and when we come back, we will dwell on governance so far in this 44 years, or precisely these 21 years, and then we'll talk about how to deal with this marginalization for equity and tranquility's sake. That has been Peggy Shandy and Ahmed Ade in the studio on Spectacle on Television Nigerian, discussing Benue South possibility to emerge as governor come 2023. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue the discussions, and the lines will always be open for you to contribute. And those who have entered Zoom with us, you remember that we programmed the Zoom from 2:30 to 3 p.m. Stay tuned.
Is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NightComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries,
welcome back. It has been Spectacle on Television Nigerian, and we are discussing how power should rotate between senatorial zones in Benue State, because the quest for power shift has begun for 2023. And Mr. Ahmed Ade is in the studio with me. He's the Deputy Coordinator of Benue South for Governor Group under the Benue Rebirth Movement. And then we have Peggy Shandy, an orator and a public affairs journalist who happens to come from Benue, the Tiv majority tribe. Before we went on that break, Peggy elucidated a point about marginalization even within the Zone C areas. Meanwhile, he's also supporting the idea that Tiv should support Idoma people for governor come 2023. Don't get that wrong. Could you say anything about that point that he made?
Well,
between the Igedes and the Idoma people?
Yes, I thought he touched on something really critical at that point. And we as brothers in Zone C have never considered the Igedes a separate tribe from us.
Okay.
Idomas, Igedes, we're all one people. You can look back to a point in time not so far gone where the Ochidoma chief, the late Chief Ajene Opabi.
Okay, that's your traditional administration.
Yes.
Okay.
He was of the Igede extraction, and for all intents and purposes, he ruled until his death as the Ochidoma.
As the paramount ruler of the Idoma
Paramount
kingdom.
ruler.
So
of
that
the Idomas.
substantiates that they are Idomas.
Yes. So, as far as we are concerned, all of us in Zone C, Igedes, Idomas, we're all one people. We're brothers. What differences, what dichotomy has been, introduced, have been introduced for purely political gain. Those introductions have been made to divide us as a people. We have never looked at Igedes as separate people we would consider marginalizing.
From history, you have
Absolutely.
You are step brothers.
Absolutely.
Of the same father.
Yes.
Okay.
I would also quickly like to chip this in. In the governance of Zone C, the past 44 years, there appears to be a zoning system in place that has rotated power between Zones A and B to the exclusion of Zone C. This perhaps is one of the main focus of our agenda. We believe that as equal stakeholders in Benue State, we should and we must be included in that zoning system. And that is our opinion, that is our position, and that is what we intend to pursue.
All right. Mr. Peggy Shandi.
Yes, please.
You had him right.
Aye.
And I think he has answered you about the marginalization you talked about. And which area you particularly thought that the Idomas are marginalizing the Igedes?
No. I started from the Igala.
No, I just want this as a context because we just have 20 minutes left.
I have now understood from him
Okay.
now that an Igede man ruled as Ochidoma. That is enough to convince me that I understand exactly what it is. Because marginalization actually takes place among tribes.
Absolutely.
So I just knew that if Igala did it to Tiv and Idoma are doing it, Tiv are doing it to Idoma, then it is also very possible that Igede will be feeling the same.
Yeah.
So it was just a synopsis that I wanted to, but with your clarification, I now can understand that better, because what you have said here has never happened in Timland.
Absolutely.
To go and bring another chief from
Absolutely.
no, so that shows the bond.
Yeah.
It's good that we explain these things.
Okay. So it shows the bond clearly.
It shows the bond, yeah.
That they are step brothers, and as a matter of fact, they have the power that they share within that cultural administration. The Igedes have even had a larger chunk of it for 35 years, and they've also been deputy governor for 8 good years, and like that, and so on and so forth. Now, considering this factor of how can you compare the administrations of the 5 governors so far in terms of development, which he said is one of the panacea why they are agitating for governor, could you, justify that Benue? Why are you laughing?
You have a very intelligent way of asking questions. Let me just go straight to the answers now. Yes, I understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you want to talk about leadership and then you put aside development, then you are sick in the head. It's a silly joke. If you are intending to go into...
All right. Paul Ude Agbo, sorry, okay. Mr. Peggy, I will bring you back. I think Paul Ude Agbo and Richard Oiwana are online for Zoom right now because we connected our Zoom. I will give them timeline. So, can we hear them?
Intending
Paul
to go...
All right. Hello, is it Paul or Paul Ude? Online for Zoom right now. Okay, it's Richard. You're welcome. You're live on TV and Spectacle.
From Port Harcourt. I'm quite impressed.
Intending to go into...
Anyone that God has destined to be the governor representing us in 2023, we will be glad. We just want a governor from our zone this time. Having stayed since the creation of Benue State of Nigeria without a governor from Zone C. Anyone has destined, thank you very much, to be the governor representing us in 2023, the governor representing us in 2023. We just want a governor. We just want a governor.
All right, Mr. Richard Oiwana. Now, have you considered the factor of party politics?
Thank you very much. The governor representing us. We just want to governor. Practically impossible. To that extent, our own area, which is Zone C, should not be a jettison area, or should not be an area to be ignored by our big brothers from the other side. That being said, we are human beings. On the basis of equity, we need to be given opportunity, to govern the state and to see what we have to put on table for the people of Benue State.
All right. Mr. Richard, I think you have made your point, let's take the call from Paul Ude Agbo if he's still online. And meanwhile, okay, Paul has gone off. Mr. Richard, are you there? The two major political parties, namely PDP and APC, are from their chairmen, their chairpersons are from Zone C. How are you people lobbying with them to orchestrate their party ticket to be ceded to Benue South?
Whether APC, PDP, SDP, or whichever other party you mentioned, as far as the 2023 project, Zone C governorship project is concerned, we are one. If the opportunity is given to us based on equity by our two brothers, we will know how to harmonize and come out with a particular front, particular candidate, either from APC or from PDP. All that we want is a governor in 2023 from the C, whether it's from APC or from PDP or from any other political party. It's immaterial at that point.
All right, thank you very much for reaching us via Zoom on this topic. You're welcome. Now we were, Mr. Peggy,
Yes, please.
we're talking about justification for the 44 years so far, governance by the let me say 21 years since the inception of the Fourth Republic, Democratic Republic, isn't it? We have had 5 governors so far, and could you justify that it is eminent now to cede power, just like you said, to Zone C? You were on point before the Zoom came up.
Okay. So we're trying to analyze the administration of the 5 governors so far.
Yes.
But I began to say that if you want to contest for any position such as a governor, development should be the key word.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to appreciate the first governor of Benue State, which is Aperko.
The democratically elected.
Democratically elected. It's democratically elected stuff we're talking about. Because military, they were appointing. There was no election. So you pull them out. But I want to say that Aperko did a lot within a very short time. And Benue had a bigger landmass than what it is today. I wonder why no other governor should be able to do even better, because Kogi has gone. We are left with just a small chunk of the Benue map. To develop it is a problem. So I'm wondering why the people have not gone in there. Aperko did exceptionally well within 4 years. He built a gigantic state-of-the-art secretariat.
Yes.
And then, he also...
Just within 4 years. I just want you to take note of that.
Yes. And he also was able to start up, to boost the economic aspect of the state.
Absolutely.
He knew that he was going to bring breweries, buy shares, do
just within 4 years.
Just within 4 years.
And now what happened now?
Yes, and built everything.
I want to bring it back to what engineer said.
Yeah.
Engineer Ade said. He said one of the pivotal reasons why they're agitating for this is not only for egalitarianism, but for development.
Yes, I mentioned.
No.
I did. He mentioned that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And now let me come.
I have not finished. You gave me an opportunity to.
Okay.
To talk about.
To round up.
Yes.
No, to say 5 administration.
Okay.
I only started 1.
we just have less than 9 minutes.
No, forget about that. We have to dissect it.
And
then the next person, the next person now was what? Was who? Was Adasu. Reverend Father Adasu leveraged so much on Aperko's development by establishing a university.
Just within 1 year.
Just within 1 year, 6 months. People without knowledge is a no development society. Exactly. You are heading to anarchy. Then came George Akume, distinguished minister. Yes, he came. Now between Reverend Father Adasu and Senator George Akume, the Honorable Minister, there were military interference.
Yes.
The military ran away with all the resources of Benue, and Akume appeared in 1999. So all the last cows that they packed to go and give Onea and the last military governor. I know the man in Benue who actually packed the last set of cows to go and give him in this place. And what happened was that they looted the state to the point where until Akume came, he thought of what to do. He now started doing human empowerment. That's why you saw him give out. He revived a lot of people.
Akume is renowned with that.
Known for giving.
He is known for that. And you believe that you consider meeting him. He's one of the decisive or decision makers and power brokers in Benue politics, even in North Central politics. You can't do without that.
So lastly,
and since he's a giver, I believe he will give you what you want.
Please take
fingers crossed.
Take advantage of that. A giver who knows that military has run away with all the resources of the state, he needed to give the indigents, palliatives to start. More people started buying cars. And there was a special car they called Akume, thank you. People had to build better houses at that time because military was only favoring the only military people. After Senator George Akume came Suswam. Suswam, a very quick, young, and smart young man. A politician who is very, very quick, and he grew up in Lagos. He came and gave us street lights. Benue wasn't dark. Except for those ancient of days.
And he made roads.
He made roads and paved.
Roads
There was nothing as good as what he did in opening urban roads and rural.
And it's just that the roads contractors were using substandard materials. If not, Suswan opened up various road networks in Benue that I could testify about. But those contractors, they embezzled, like that is the shadow behind the things that we've been talking about in the media. And now we are setting agenda for 2023. And your point is for tranquility and development. That is why the agitation is coming out strong. Absolutely. And don't forget that point. And if you want to consider the factor again of party politics and the compromise of your people to taking up the deputy position, what would you do about that? Because they have their human rights.
At this point, that isn't an option. It's not something we want to put on the table.
Okay.
We
that you are ending your last note with this because we just have 4 minutes.
Okay. So our goal, our ultimate focus is governorship for Benue State, coming from Zone C extraction.
For tranquility?
Yes.
And
now,
for development.
I would at this point also like to add that this isn't an ethnic agenda. No. This is more about equity.
Okay.
We have all the love for our thief brothers in zones A and B.
He said that.
Absolutely. So it is in our interest to continue to foster this relationship. Without them,
as a matter of fact, he acknowledged that they came to meet you.
Yes. Without them,
they
for all intents and purposes,
they conquered you.
Yes.
And now you are begging for power.
I wouldn't put it in those exact words, but okay.
And now people like Akume, Suswan, Governor Tom, who else is one of those echelons, could be begged to consider, because they control the parties.
I don't know if begging is the right word.
Well, negotiation.
Absolutely. Negotiations would be, more suitable.
Dialogue.
Yes. Dialogue.
Understanding.
Absolutely.
Diplomatic dialogue.
Yes.
These three guys, especially now the incumbent governor, you can't push him aside.
Yes.
And so when you are doing your biddings, while you bring all the stakeholders, you ensure that they give you the leverage.
It would also be useful at this point to mention that we've talked about, the prowess, the political prowess of the likes of Suswam, Senator George Akume, Governor Tom. We do have political titans within Zone C as well.
Exactly.
Former Senate President David Mark.
Okay.
Oh, wow. A power to reckon with.
Exactly.
So these are people who have the pedigree. These are people who...
A lot of them you can call them, but now we're talking about people that we can leverage to talk to their own people.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Even within Zone C, we do have the political elites who, would...
Let me chip in.
Sure. Last word, we have 1 minute.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Engineer Daniel Atai. If we are talking about Zone C governorship, then I want to say to you, the Zone C, and those who are agitating for those, for that particular, and the guy who spoke on the Skype, if you don't present a quality candidate,
absolutely,
it's still not going to work.
Absolutely,
we are going to.
Now, I want you to. No.
Yeah,
you have to know that as a philosophy, zoning to me is an unwritten law in the constitution of this country.
Yes.
And that is where the dialogue and understanding comes. It's not written anywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Shandy, I would like to talk about this again. And it's incredible that you, my chief brother, you set a condition that we provide a quality candidate. Given that, in 44 years, your brothers haven't done so well for, the state, they haven't presented exceptional candidates. I think it would be useful that you trust us to produce a candidate that even you would be happy with.
Well, you have told me something. I'll go back and tell them.
Yes, please do.
It is a food for thought.
Please do.
Whether we have not performed enough.
No, you haven't.
No, we are going to give this a trial will convince us.
Absolutely.
We are going to give this trial.
Even if it's
3 is on A.
Exactly.
2 is on B.
Yes.
Just this one time that they are going to
And
give
give us
us on
chance
C.
to prove ourselves.
Nobody has given you the chance.
Yes.
Exactly.
And they said, no, we will not give you.
okay.
Give us the chance to
Otherwise,
prove
they will
ourselves.
say that let Zone C, if they don't get this governor in 2023, let Zone C pack their load and move away from Benue.
Absolutely.
And all boycott themselves from Benue.
Exactly.
And find a way to make their Zone C people
Relevant.
No. Empower them and get them out of poverty.
Okay.
I think it is supposed not to be a war, but somehow, I don't know if it's going to be a war.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peggy. Peggy said, in case the power brokers refuse to give you the leverage to lead come 2023, you can separate from the state and form your own government. And I think it's coming from a public affairs journalist and an orator, Peggy Shandy. And that is where we will stop today on Spectacle on Television Nigerian. I have been speaking with Ame Ade, the deputy coordinator of one of the progenies of BRM. BRM means Benue Rebirth Movement. He is of the Benue South for Governor Group. And with Peggy Shandy, his chief brother, same from Benue, an orator and a public affairs journalist. You can do it to follow us on our social media platforms, and Spectacle is open for sponsorship. We'll display the account numbers on the screen for you and our telephone numbers. If you want to sponsor Spectacle for any program, please do contact us via what is displayed on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I have been Daniel Atai. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai.